If Trump wins, I think day one in office, he'll issue an executive order and they will shut down the southern border. So I know that for a fact.
Last night, I attended the GOP watch party where I was able to interview U.S. Senator James Lankford about how this election will be affecting college students directly. This is what he had to say.
I hope everybody's watching it. Every generation kind of watches the next generation and determines what they want to do next when they're in the lead. So I would hope a lot of college students, and quite frankly, recent college graduates, are watching what's happening in national politics, saying, here's what I want to do different in the days ahead. Here's how I want to handle hard issues. We have a lot of big issues: debt, deficit, Social Security, Medicare, immigration. A lot of hard issues that are going to take people that disagree sitting down and talking to each other.
And why are you feeling like the need to have new judges on the bench this year?
You know, part of our democratic process is every 6 years, judges are on what's called a retention ballot, and Oklahomans get to vote yes or no. So that's a democratic process. To me, they've been on for a super long time. One of them's been on since like 1984, over 40 years. At the end of the term, they'll be like 93 years old. That's kind of weird that they're still holding on to this job when they could make more money in retirement. And so when you're appointed for that long, and sometimes you just need fresh blood, and when they're also activist judges, sometimes they interpret and they're trying to legislate from the bench instead of just interpret the laws that the legislature passed. So for those reasons, I think Oklahomans have been frustrated. We'll see how that vote turns out. But for those reasons, I mean, I voted no.
What issues should students be looking for in this election?
Honestly, that's a great question. So thank you for asking me that. But I would say there's so many different issues. It really kind of matters on what's most important to you. But for students, to me, I think that, student loans is a huge problem that students need to focus on. And the environment, super big, because we're the people that are going to be left here on Earth.
And UCO's 22nd president, Todd Lamb, is said to be officially inaugurated into the school's history. U Central's Lauren Jackson has more from Old North.
Save the date, Broncos, for the inauguration of UCO's 22nd president, Todd Lamb. The week leading up to this event will be highlighting the Bronco Way. These events will be showcasing our community, neighborhood, history, and Oklahoma on that Friday, April 26th at 1 p.m. Highlight it on your calendars, and I'll see you then, Broncos. This is Lauren Jackson reporting for U Central.
Yesterday, 8 states voted to add the right to abortion to their state constitutions. Colorado, Montana, Maryland, and New York, where abortion was already legal, simply passed stronger protections. Nevadans who have abortion protections up to 24 weeks will vote again in 2026 to officially pass their amendment. States with abortion bans like Arizona, Missouri, and Nebraska passed amendments overturning statewide bans, while partial ban still remains in place. This extends the amount of time a woman has to get a legal abortion. Florida and South Dakota both had propositions on the ballot, but they failed. Academy of Contemporary Music student Gavin Taylor will be one of the headliners at next weekend's yearly Norman Music Festival. Gavin is quoted saying that has been on my ACM bucket list since the very beginning. Gavin continued by stating that the ACM has equipped him and his bandmates to perform at this festival. The festival will take place in Norman from Thursday, April 24th through April 26th. The festival hosts musicians, vendors, and carnival, all which are free to the public. The Muffled Siren, Gavin's band, will perform on Friday at the Alley Stage at 9:50 p.m.
What's up, Broncos? My name is Lauren Jackson. I am currently standing outside of the Oklahoma Capitol in Oklahoma City, where lawmakers here are examining a new legislative bill that will have a significant impact on homeless shelters. I spoke with the Homeless Alliance representative to see how they are responding to this bill.
Community members, in order to get services that they need to end their homelessness, they're going to need to go to a bigger city, which then has them come to a place like, let's say, Oklahoma City or Tulsa, as the only two who aren't affected by that rule. When those folks have to go to the larger city, all of those resources are already stretched.
Bill SB 484 would prohibit cities with a population less than 300,000 from approving any proposed homeless shelter if it's located within 3,000 feet of a park, school, public library, child, and adult daycare facilities.
You can't have put a new shelter in paid for with city funds in in anywhere smaller than 300,000 people. And then when the writer came back and said that they'd changed it, the use of that 3,000 foot requirement really kind of stuck with me a little bit, just because if you do a little bit of research, again, it is so much more than the amount of feet required for a liquor store, a bar, or a marijuana dispensary.
Bill SB 484, authored by Senator Lindsey Stanbridge, mandates that any organization planning to create a homeless shelter must notify nearby property owners at least 30 days before a public hearing. We'll keep you updated on this developing story. This is Lauren Jackson reporting for U Central News.
With Election Day fast approaching, most college students are first-time voters. I was able to talk to Doug Sanderson about what in-state and out-of-state college students should be looking for.
We have some out-of-state students that actually register in Oklahoma to vote in our elections here. But that deadline has already passed. So what I would recommend, if you're a registered voter but registered in some other state, get online and contact that other state. They still may have an opportunity for you to vote by mail.
In-state students are able to cast their vote as early as October 30th. When you go to vote, make sure to bring a valid form of ID and not to wear any form of political affiliation.
The worst thing to do is to be in line at a place you think you're registered to vote, only to discover an hour later that you're at the wrong site, because then it's obviously complicates things. So the best suggestion I can make is to go online to the State Election Board's website, go to the voter portal, look up your polling place, and take a look at your ballot, and then you'll be prepared.
To see your voter location, ballot, or changes to your voter information, visit okvoterportal.gov.
Make use of this opportunity that we have in our democracy to participate in the election, because your vote is important and it counts.
Get out there and vote, Broncos. This is Lauren Jackson.
What's up, Broncos? My name is Lauren Jackson, and I'm currently at the Edmond Historical Museum. Something amazing about this museum, it was the National Guard's
armatory that was built in 1936. This was built for the National Guard to hold their weaponry. I asked the director a little bit about Veterans Day and how impactful it is for the museum.
This is where the National Guard mobilized and practiced and drilled, and in some cases went to war from this facility. But Edmond has a very strong military history, and part of that is because we're located so close to Tinker Air Force Base. We have a lot of military members and veterans here in Edmond.
This is Edmond's 4th annual Veterans Day celebration, today from 4:30 to 5:30 at Stevenson's Park Pavilion. They will have many events going on throughout the entire night.
Doing a Veterans Day celebration, which is a tradition that started a few years ago, and this time we're doing it in Stevenson Park, and the mayor will be here and various military members. We also have 2 choirs coming out, Edmond local choirs, to sing, and we just want to honor the very important veterans who live in our city.
This is Lauren Jackson reporting for U Central News.